Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum is bouncing from my exact area of support after perfectly rejecting from this exact area of resistance, while the price of Chainlink is still playing out this short-term warning signal, but is now getting close to oversold territories just like last time, while XRP is still rejecting from this major resistance, while the price of Cardano is getting extremely close to confirming this new pattern in the short term. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Ethereum chart, and right now Ethereum is technically still in a larger bull market, but of course we're still running into that major point of resistance at around 4.1k. So as I've been warning about for a while now on the channel, since before the price even made it into this area of resistance the first time, of course we have a lot of resistance in between around 3.9k to 4.1k. So like I've been warning about, expect the price to struggle and even reject from this resistance, which so far has now played out twice very perfectly here. And with both of these rejections on the daily Ethereum chart over the last 1 to 2 weeks here, we've come exactly down to my area of support that I've been talking about, saying how we're most likely going to bounce from around this area. And we've seen that multiple times now, exactly as expected. And in case you're new to the channel, this area of support is sitting in between around 34.30 to 35.60. So once again, expect a lot of support, meaning buyers in that price range. And so as I've already been saying over the last couple of weeks, expect the price to just chop around sideways within this sideways price range, bouncing up towards this resistance and then getting rejected, coming back down towards this support, and then over and over again in a sideways price range. Obviously, I've been saying this for weeks, and obviously it's already been playing out exactly as expected, and I continue to expect this to continue to play out potentially in the coming days or weeks as well. And on top of the fact that we have this major area of resistance right here, of course, another reason as to why we're basically lacking bullish momentum, at least in the short term here, and we're playing out a bit of a sideways consolidation in a sideways price range, is due to the fact that this bearish divergence on the daily time frame is technically still active, as I've also been warning about for the last couple of weeks here, with higher highs already confirmed in the price and lower highs confirmed in the RSI. And as of right now, we've not confirmed any invalidation signal to invalidate the bearish divergence, which means technically speaking, it is still actively playing out right now. And usually a bearish divergence plays out in the form of either just choppy sideways price action like this, or maybe a slight pullback in the shorter term. So those are the most common outcomes from a bearish divergence. So this price action right here should not be surprising. But remember, when we're zooming out, taking a look at the bigger picture for Ethereum, technically speaking, we're still in a larger bull market, as we can see right here. We're simply just running into some strong resistance in the somewhat shorter term at the moment, close to 4.1k based on these previous highs, and playing out that bearish divergence on the daily time frame, resulting in a loss in bullish momentum in the shorter term here. But once we can eventually confirm a breakout above 4.1k, then in that case, the next price target is basically the all-time high at just underneath $5,000, around 4.8 to 4.9k as the next target once we can actually confirm a breakout above 4.1k, which obviously as of right now has not yet happened. And so over the last one day, not a lot has changed for Ethereum. It's still playing out the exact price action that I've been talking about here on the channel. And if we're taking a look at Chainlink on the weekly time frame, of course, we're still rejecting and struggling from that major area of resistance, starting at close to $31 and going up towards around $34, which is also something that I've been warning about for a while now on the channel, with this Fibonacci level of resistance sitting close to $31 and these previous highs sitting at close to $34. And so as I've been saying, I would only expect to move up towards this next major price target, basically the all-time high at around $50 to $53, if we can first see a confirmed breakout above this area of resistance, because for now, that is still a major obstacle that the price needs to surpass before we can look at these higher price targets. And when we're talking about support to watch out for on the weekly time frame, as I've also mentioned recently here on the channel, we had this previous golden pocket area of resistance, which was significant resistance back here. And so that should now act as new support right now. And that's sitting at around $21 to $23 if we see a continued short-term pullback. And if we're taking a look at this weekly Chainlink chart, of course, technically speaking, this bullish cup and handle pattern is still active because we've not yet confirmed a break with a weekly candle close back below this line right here, which is sitting at approximately $23, give or take. But of course, if that were to happen, if we saw a weekly candle close back below $23, technically speaking, that would invalidate the breakout for this pattern and invalidate the price target for this pattern. But for now, as of recording this video, we're currently seeing another retest of this previous line of resistance to once again potentially flip it into new support, because as of right now, we are bouncing from this line at just above $23, which at least in the short term, while that bounce is happening, this is some good news. And so this weekly time frame would only start to flip a bit more bearish again if we actually confirm a break back below around $23 on this chart, and especially on this chart, if we break back below around $21 with a weekly candle close, that would be bad news in the short to midterm for Chainlink. But for now, as of recording this video, the larger time frames are still looking okay. We're just simply running into some short-term resistance, just like Ethereum. And if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Chainlink chart, of course, as I've been warning about over the last half a week or so, since all the way back up here, we have this bearish divergence actively playing out in the short term, which means we're most likely going to see a bit of a pullback in the short term, or at the very least, just some choppy sideways price action. So essentially, no more bullish momentum here in the short term. We've lost that bullish momentum due to this bearish divergence and the price running into major resistance. And so essentially, it's the same story for Chainlink as what I was just saying for Ethereum, with a bearish divergence and running into this major resistance in the short term. It's the same story as well for Chainlink. But if we're taking a look at the 4-hour Chainlink RSI, this is getting extremely close to oversold territories, which means very soon, maybe not necessarily right now, but very soon, so either right now or perhaps over the next 1 or 2 days, that sort of time frame, very, very soon, once again, we're likely going to see a slight little bounce here. So finally, a bit of a relief from all of this bearish price action. Because essentially an oversold signal, in case you're new to all of this, is the opposite of an overbought signal. And an overbought signal means the price is overheated. We've gone too far to the upside too quickly, and we need some time to cool off a little bit from all of the bullish price action. And an oversold signal is that exact opposite. We've gone too far to the downside too quickly, and we need some time to have a bit of a relief in the short term. But with that being said, we've actually not yet confirmed an oversold signal. It's just very close to oversold territories, which technically means there is still some room left to the downside here. We could perhaps go a little bit lower before seeing that bounce. That's why I said just earlier, very soon we're likely going to see a bit of a relief, whether it's right now or perhaps after another slight little drop and then a relief. So very, very soon. And if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto, personally, I take a lot of my trades right now over on BTNX. So I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNX below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this page right here where you can claim an exclusive 20% deposit rebate. So essentially, if you just make your account using that link and then deposit $100, you get $20 back. Or if you deposit $500, you get a $100 bonus. Or if you deposit just 1,000 USDT and start trading, you get a $200 bonus into your BTNX account. And so if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, or if you're preparing to take the next trading opportunity, you might as well check this out. Once again, first link below this video. And also, in case you're wondering, BTNX is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But for whatever reason, if you don't want BTNX, there is also Bybit as another option out there that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to Bybit below this video, where you can claim this 500 USDT position airdrop if you use that link to make your Bybit account and deposit on that account. But with that being said, taking a look at the price of XRP on the weekly time frame, and over the last couple of days here, XRP has not really changed all that much on the larger time frames. Technically speaking, it's still a possibility we can stay within the larger bull market, but of course we have that strong resistance at around $2.90 to $3 and strong support at around $2 approximately. And so ultimately, the price of XRP is basically in a massive sideways price range between $2 and $3 on these larger time frames here. But if we're zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, obviously over the last 1 day with a lot of the crypto market, we did see a slight little pullback here. And so technically speaking, this latest pullback has now actually invalidated the breakout for this bullish flag pattern right here, because technically speaking, we did confirm this candle close back below the point of the breakout and back below these lows right here, which was sitting at around $2.35, give or take. And right now we're still holding on to this low as a bit of short-term support, sitting at around $2.30 to $2.31. And so that is the short-term support level to pay attention to, but I'll no longer really pay attention to this pattern anymore, or the price target for this pattern, because it's now technically invalid. And so obviously this is another example as to why it's so important to use stop losses on these breakout trades. As I always talk about here on the channel, of course, you can make profits even in the worst case scenario. Yes, profits, not losses, even when the price dumps here, by using things like stop losses and having good risk management. And so, for example, if you were to enter, let's just say, a long position or buy some XRP around this breakout right here, or even if you waited for a couple of candle closes, or even if you waited for a retest and then entered at around the retest, or once we confirmed the retest, if you used any of those breakout signals right there to enter a long position, and then of course the price went to the upside here, and then as the price moved further into profits, if you moved your stop loss at least up towards your entry, but ideally moving your stop loss into profits, as I always share when I'm sharing these trading strategies, then of course you would have come away with profits. Even in this worst case scenario, the price would have just dumped right here, hit the stop loss, and closed the trade automatically in profits. And so just in the short term, that is the current situation for the price of XRP. Once again, we do have this support at around $2.30 to $2.31 approximately, but technically we have now invalidated this previous breakout pattern right here. And if we were to break back below around $2.30, in that case, the next important support is sitting at around $2.23, and below that we have more support at closer towards $2, also based on this significant level on the weekly time frame. And so overall, the situation for XRP, at least in the somewhat shorter term, is honestly not too much different to Ethereum or Chainlink, for example, where the price is basically chopping around sideways, just playing out a massive cool off in the shorter term during a larger bull run. That is the current situation. And if we're taking a look at the price of Cardano on the weekly time frame, we're seeing something very similar for Cardano as well, which is also something that I've been warning about for weeks now on the channel, because the price has obviously recently run into this major golden pocket area of resistance, sitting in between around $1.13 to $1.23. So as I warned about since before the price even made it to that area, we have strong resistance, and we're likely going to reject from that exact area. And we've seen that exactly play out as expected. And so in case you're new to this channel, that is still acting as strong resistance. So if we were to see a bit of a short-term bounce back to the upside, once again, expect strong resistance, meaning strong selling pressure around this area on the price chart. But if we were to eventually break out back above around $1.23 with at least a weekly candle close confirming the breakout above that level, then in that case, we do have some short-term resistance at around $1.45 approximately. But above that, the next Fibonacci level of resistance is sitting at around $1.76. But obviously between now and then, we have this strong golden pocket area of resistance still causing the price to struggle a lot. And as for support, at least here on the weekly time frame, we have this previous 50% retracement level, which was previous significant resistance, and also a bit of support back here, and that's sitting at approximately 82 cents, give or take, acting as support. But if we're taking a look at the somewhat shorter term on the 12-hour time frame, technically speaking, Cardano is still playing out this bearish divergence as expected. Obviously, as I've also been warning about for weeks now on the channel, we have this bearish divergence actively playing out, meaning we should be expecting either a pullback or at the very least just some choppy sideways price action. So no more bullish momentum in the short term after a bearish divergence, which is what I've been saying for weeks now. And technically speaking, this is still actively playing out right now. So as I warned about back here, I would not be buying any Cardano. I would not be opening any long positions on Cardano, because we have a lot of short-term risk, is what I said right around here. And if we're taking a look at the 6-hour time frame, Cardano is getting very close to possibly confirming a new bearish pattern. Because at this stage in the price of Cardano here in the short term, this possible head and shoulders pattern has completed the formation phase, but I want to make it clear this pattern is not confirmed right now. It is not playing out, because in order for this to actually confirm, we need to see candle closes below this neckline right here. So confirming a break below around 91 to 92 cents. And so right now, that is acting as strong support, at least in the short term. We have seen multiple bounces from right around 91 to 92 cents. But if we see candle closes in the price of Cardano below around 91 cents, then in that case, that would officially confirm this head and shoulders pattern as a bearish price pattern. And in that case, looking at a bearish price target for that break to the downside, if we actually confirm that break, once again, that would set up a price target at approximately 64 to 65 cents. So from the point of the breakdown to that price target, we're talking about potentially a 30% crash in the price of Cardano coming soon, coming next, if we first break below this line. I want to make that clear. As of right now, that price target is not active and not in play because the price has not confirmed the break below this line. But of course, if we do confirm this breakdown here, then in that case, that could possibly be a trading strategy to pay attention to. Because yes, in case you're new to all of this, we can make money even during a crash in the prices of crypto, because we can use things like short positions, for example, to profit along the way down. So just as an example of a trading strategy, if we actually confirm a break with candle closes below that neckline, that could be a potential signal to open a short position or enter a short position and then trade that move towards the downside and then take profits just before this price target. And usually in situations like here, I tend to take some profits around key levels of support as well along the way down in a short position. And so it's essentially the exact opposite of a breakout trade to the upside. Of course, with a breakout trade, we'd be looking at a long position and taking profits around key levels of resistance. This is the exact opposite, looking at a short position and taking profits around key levels of support where the price could possibly bounce. And as for those support levels that I'll be paying attention to, we do have a bit of support right here based on previous resistance, flipping into new support at around 82 to 83 cents, as I mentioned earlier. We also have more support at around 78 cents, more support at around 76 cents, and more support at around 72 cents approximately. And so for now, this is just something to pay attention to in case it confirms, but nothing to act on, at least as of right now at the time of recording this video, because for now it is not yet confirmed. And once again, if you want to trade these moves in the price of any crypto to profit, no matter if the price is bullish or bearish, check out those links below this video to claim those extra bonuses over on those exchanges. And if you want to actually know how you can profit from crypto, even if the price is bearish, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions. And the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.